We'll be live. Hello, everyone. Let me know if you have my audio. This is Armin Navobi. We are at. Okay, we are ready to get started. Let me know if you have my audio, guys. Make sure you like. Make sure you subscribe. Dolly is in the live chat, reminding everybody to like and subscribe and everything, all that good stuff. My audio is good. We can get started. I am going to do more Islamic related videos because we're gonna go back on Israel, Palestine, Gaza, Hamas stuff as well. But we haven't been doing one of these responding to Islamic nonsense videos for a while now, so we need to get back on that. By the way, Dolly is doing so many things here. First of all, she's here highlighting your comments, so make sure you leave comments in the live chat for Dolly to highlight the best ones. Also, Dolly is the one who does the research and goes and finds the most viral videos regarding Islam or Israel or Hamas for me to review here on the live chat. She's also the one who eventually will cut them and edit them for us to put, separately on our YouTube channel. So thank you so much, Dolly, for all the work that you do. All right, people are confirming that they're liking the stream. I need you guys to like the stream because we need more people to see the response to all this filth being spread all over social media, because a lot of people know that this is nonsense, but they don't really have a proper response to it. And you guys really need me. You guys need me to show you the proper response, because I've looked everywhere, and especially with regards to Islam, the way what we're doing here, it's not being done anywhere else. So make sure that you get this stream and this channel, the Atheist Republic channel on YouTube, in front of more eyeballs, because this is a disease and we are the cure. So help us spread this cure. Talking about disease, let's go through the first video. And guys, these videos, I'm not going to mention every single time what these videos, how many likes and views this videos have received, but just know that every single video here that I'm going to show you that Dolly has found, it has received a crap ton of views and likes. Like, these are viral videos. I see a lot of people are watching us on Twitter. Make sure you also, during the stream, after the stream, come over to YouTube and search for Atheist Republic on YouTube and subscribe to us on YouTube. Subscribe to the Atheist Republic channel on YouTube, because we need to get this YouTube channel growing. All right, let's look at this. Let's go to the first one. How about that? Let's look at this. So a lot of the videos I've noticed that gets the most attention is reverts, especially white reverts, and especially, there are three things that makes many Muslims really celebrate the fact that you have converted to Islam. And for people who are new here, reverts are the name Muslims have for people who have converted to Islam. And the reason why they call them reverts instead of converts is because they have this ridiculous, pathetic suggestion that everybody is born a Muslim, and people who convert to Islam, they're coming back to Islam. The level of insecurity, this is, these claims was also a sign of an inferiority complex that a lot of Muslims have. But anyways, let's go watch this one. And again, I haven't watched his videos. I haven't had the time to pre-watch these, so I'm gonna watch them with you guys, and I'm gonna maybe have a notepad here. I'm not gonna pause it throughout the video and respond to it every time he says something. I'm gonna watch it through and through, and once it's over, then we'll go from the beginning to the end and respond to it together one more time. Again, I haven't watched any of these videos. These are all on TikTok. Okay, so let me see. This first video is from the account. Given that I can't read the name on these accounts, what I'm going to do is just, I want to make sure that I'm not like stealing content. I give credit to people who posted this content, like the people behind this account. So I'm just going to put the name of the account in the live chat and highlight it instead of reading them, because I don't know how to read a lot of these. Okay, so you saw the name of the account. So let's go through the first one and see what this guy has to say. Dolly saying this one is funny. Okay. Okay. All right. Let's see what this guy has to say. Wait, I have to actually read this? God damn it. All right. Let's see. You know what? I'm just going to play. It's not that long. I'll read it the second time I'm playing it. You guys just read it from the screen. I know a lot of people can't see the screen because they're running or washing the dishes or walking the dogs or driving. I'll read it. How long is this? You know what? I have to read it for you guys. I know a lot of you are not looking at your screen. So it's I'll just read off the screen. Saying, I found the Quran from my daughter at home. First day, I read for 3 hours. Next day, my first prayer without know-how. Okay. Well, you kind of seem to know a little bit. Okay. I'm sad because I don't know how to pray. What the hell is this? Don't give up. You can do it. What the hell is this? Dolly, what are you doing to? I got information on the internet. This is. I learned prayer and surahs. Okay. My first time I visit a mosque. There was only one man. He was very friendly. Okay, guys, I think English is this guy's first language and it's my second language, but help with my English. It's not one man. It's either one man or more than one man. How is this singular and then plural? He doesn't. Okay. I asked him for help. He showed me how to pray, and I did what he said. I got books about Islam from the mosque. Okay. I studied at home every day. I thank Allah for the guidance. Okay, that was it. Wow. Okay, this looks like a commercial. This got more than 1 million likes on TikTok. I don't know how many views it got. Let me see how many views this got. It more than 1 million likes. How many views this man got? They grift, man. Wow. Okay, it got about 7 million views. Do you know what this shows? Do you know how much effort went into making this video? You got 7 million views for that. Do you know the incentives that's being created here for white converts to show that they're converted to Islam? Do you know how many people would be tempted to do the same thing given the level of attention and the level of reception that they're receiving? Again, there are 3 things that many Muslims are really looking into. Like, if you have one of these 3 or 2 or all 3, then it would be, and if you are only focusing on your own interests, then I can see why you would convert to Islam. If you're white, that's a huge plus. If you're a woman, that's also a huge plus. If you're famous, that is incredible. If you're all 3, you're converting to Islam. I don't good lucky. Actually, the 4th one is good lucky, right? If you have all 4 of these, then you could get so much out of converting to Islam. You could get so much attention. So this guy has the being white element, and that's one reason why he's getting this much attention. I will bet you so much money that if this was this exact same video about a man in India who converted from Hinduism to Islam, would not get like a fraction of the attention. Or even a black man in the United States would not get a fraction of the attention. Notice how there wasn't a single point regarding what this man found convincing about Islam. Like, why? Okay, so he read the Quran and he never knew anything about it. Let's see actually what convinced him. Because he apparently just reading the Quran was good enough for him to become a Muslim. Let's read this. I found the Quran from my daughter at home. So before that, this guy had no Islamic knowledge. He found the Quran, okay? And then what happened? First day, I read for 3 hours, okay? So what is it in the Quran? Because here's the thing. If you actually read the Quran, that is a fantastic way for you to be anti-Islam. Like, no sane person will read the Quran and be like, yep, this is fantastic. In fact, the best way to get somebody to leave Islam is to get them to read Quran and understand the Quran. So I want this guy to actually tell us at some point somewhere that what it was it in the Quran. Was it the wife beating part? Here's a question. This man has a daughter, right? Actually, let me get this. Quran 434. So this man has a daughter. He read the Quran and he was like, oh yeah, this is fantastic. Let's become a Muslim. When it comes to, you don't have to be a scholar. You don't have to be a genius. You don't have to know Arabic. You don't have to have an understanding of Islamic history or the hadith or the Sha'n al-Nuzul or the authority of each tafsir that has been written on the Quran. You just need to have read the Quran long enough for you to get to this part, right? So he read the Quran and he said he has a daughter. Let me actually make sure. Like, please. I found the Quran from my daughter. This guy, I think English might not be his first name. I found the Quran from my daughter at home. Okay. First day, I read for 3 hours. Guys, the Quran is not a very big book. It's actually, the reason why that book that he's holding looks very big is because it's probably like, I don't know, comes with tafsir as well. But Quran is actually a very short book. Next day, my first prayer. So he's a Muslim now. He read the Quran and he's a Muslim. So my question to him is, given that you have a daughter, what are your thoughts about this part of the Quran? Men are caretakers of women, since Allah has made some of them excel the others. So first of all, the Quran is telling that men are superior to women. Again, this is Quran 4, chapter 4, verse 34. And because of the wealth they have spent. Okay, so because they are the ones who make the money, they are apparently superior, right? And then it says, so the righteous women are obedient. So, sir, this Quran is telling your wife, your daughter, to be an obedient wife to her future husband and guard the property and honor of their husband in their absence, with the protection given by Allah. As for women of whom you fear rebellion, so this is the key part, okay? God is telling the reader of the Quran, who's obviously a man, you can see like many parts of the Quran, it writes as if it assumes that whoever's reading the Quran is a man. Says, as for women of whom you fear rebellion, so if you, among your women, if you feel that they might rebel, if you fear that they might not be obedient, first, it gives you 3 steps. First, convince them. If that doesn't work, leave them apart in bed. Basically, don't let them sleep in your bed. And then beat them. Okay? Beat them. And again, the Quran that he has seems to have come with commentary and tafsir. If you look at, you don't need to be, if you want to do more research and see if this translation is accurate or not, go look at every single tafsir of the Quran for the past 1300 years. They all, so if you don't, people are like, oh, you have to speak Arabic. No, you don't have to speak Arabic, because the tafsir books have been written by people who speak Arabic, right? So given that every single tafsir book in the history of Islam has translated this part as Rabuhunna. Where is it? Where is it? Oh, here. As Rabuhunna, this part, as beat them, then you could assume that it means beat them. Beat them. And if anybody says, like, no, it's the Quran, it means to beat them lightly, first of all, tell them that beat them lightly is also horrible, but also make it clear that nowhere in the Quran talks about lightly. Nowhere in the Quran mentions lightly. But also look at the audacity of Allah, right? After it says, then if they obey you, do not seek a way against them. Surely Allah is the highest and the greatest. So you're being so merciful, because if they obey you, you're going to end up stop beating them. So yeah, this person, this father, like how disgusting of a father do you have to be to have read a book that promotes wife beating, and you, as a father of a daughter that has turned Muslim, are endorsing this book. You're celebrating a book that promotes the idea of a husband beating your daughter. If again, let's always be clear, the Quran doesn't say to beat them if they're disobedient. The Quran says beat them who you fear disobedience, fear rebellion. So even if they have not rebelled, even if they have not disobeyed, you only require fearing disobedience for you to beat them. And also remember, this is not a permission, it's a command. The Quran says, ask for women whom you fear rebellion. When it says beat them, it doesn't tell you that you are allowed to beat them. It's a commandment. So you have to do it. It's not like this is an option. Even if you don't want to beat them, if you fear disobedience, Allah is commanding you to beat them. So yeah, Father of the Year, endorsing a book that endorses and commands you to beat women. It's disgusting, especially for somebody who has a daughter. There we go. Easy peasy. Why is it so easy to destroy Islam, and yet Islam is spreading so like wildfire? Right? Like, this is the most disgusting widespread ideology in the world. And we have an ideology. Tell me this, okay? Like, among right now, when it comes to our modern moral standards, which has improved a lot, we never had it this good for the past 10,000 years of civilization. Some would say 12. But here's the thing, right now, based on the standards that we have, like, please answer me, because it's hard to figure this one out. Okay, I need help. There are certain things, some of them rightly, some of them maybe not. We'll see. I'll tell you that we are extremely sensitive about, more than other things, right? Like, for example, beating women, wife beating is something that we're rightfully very sensitive about. Like, among all the things that we get it disgusts us when somebody wants to celebrate or if somebody wants to do it. Wife beating, I'm not talking about self-defense and stuff like that, is one of them, right? Having sexual relationship, or I shouldn't even call it a relationship, RAPE of children, that is something that we are rightfully very, very sensitive about, right? So Islam has wife beating. Islam has child RAPE. And here's another thing that I can't figure out. One of the most popular, especially in the Western world, one of the most wholesome, popular, things that we love, if you could put, and people, what do people love? People seem to really love, I don't know, pizza, ice cream. These are things that they mention that they love so much, especially in Western world. But one of them is our dogs, our relationship to our pets. People are obsessed with their dogs. People love their dogs, and I don't understand. Like, I there are so many other more disgusting things about Islam, like the some parts that don't get mentioned much. For example, the idea of being able to have sex slaves in Islam. That is part of the Quran. That is part of Islam. It doesn't get mentioned as much because we don't relate to that as a problem in our modern lives, because like we think like slavery is something so far at distant, even though it's not, right? But these are the things that we're still grapple with in our like modern lives, like wife beating. That's why we're so disgusted by it. Child, I'm not going to say the words because YouTube might get sensitive about it. That's still some stuff that happens in modern society, so we're very sensitive about it. But also being anti-dog, I mean, that should have been the last nail in the coffin. The fact that Muhammad ordered the killing of dogs, right? And eventually, because of an event, he gave up on that order and just said, we'll kill just the black ones because those ones are the devil. But the fact that he was so anti-dog, I was like, how could this ideology have any popularity in the Western world, given that it's pro-wife beating, pro-child RAPE, and anti-dog? Who doesn't love dogs? So tell me how one of the most disgusting ideologies on this planet is spreading like a virus. Okay, let's go. By the way, Muhammad did order the killing of dogs simply for being dogs. We have to talk about that more. Yeah, let's go to the next video. What is this one? Let me actually make sure that I give credit to this. I have the name. Dolly is so great. She even found the name of the accounts for me, so I could just copy and paste it. This makes my job so much easier. Thank you, Dolly. Okay, so this is the next account. Let me bring her on the screen. I have no idea what I'm looking at but the description of this video that Dolly has written is: Muslim woman believes praying 5 times a day shows Allah's care. Is this a Muslim? Distinguishes her from animals. I'm looking at a Muslim right now. Okay, sure. And that was the name of her account. Let's just watch this through and through and then respond to it. Oh, so it says on the screen, Muslim girl, I'm not in the mood to pray. Okay, so she's responding to people who are saying, I'm not in the mood to pray. Okay.
I am Muslim and I have to pray 5 times a day, but today I am not in the mood to pray. I used to think 5 times a day, 5 times a day, I could never. But I discovered that it's so much more than just an obligation. It's so special that Allah asks me to tell him how I'm doing 5 times a day. Prayer helped me to get out of my depression because 5 times a day I'm thinking about what I'm grateful for in this life. And of course, sometimes I lay on the couch and I'm like, I'm not in a mood to pray today. And then I always think about something that a wise man once told me. He asked me, Selma, what separates us from the animals? And I couldn't answer him. Then he said, it's our own choice to do something that we don't feel like doing, but we do anyway because we know it's good for us. When my parents divorced, I was homesick for a house that wasn't there anymore. But then I realized I don't need a physical home because Allah is my home and He's with me anywhere in the world.
How is this woman a Muslim? Well, where's your hijab, lady? Oh my God, what the hell is happening to this world? Yeah, you're okay. So she's showing her skin, she's showing her hair, she's doing makeup. Is she getting attacked by Muslims on social media for not being a proper Muslim? Because I bet you she is. I bet you she's getting the treatment, what the hell, woman, what's wrong with you treatment from a lot of Muslims online. This video, how many views is this? This got like 350,000 likes. Again, she has the white element. She has the being a woman element. It got 6 million views. But so the fact that she's not wearing the hijab kind of will reduce a lot of that popularity. But the fact that she's a woman and she's like white passing, and says that she's a Muslim, that will work a lot in her favor. But not wearing a hijab is going to get her a lot of attack. She says what separates us from animals is doing the things that is good for us, that are good for us, but we might not want to do. So wear your hijab then. What the hell? What? Yeah, okay, let me actually respond to every single point that she's making.
I am Muslim and I.
By the way, let me be clear before you, everybody. Yeah, we are animals. Anybody who says we're separate from animals, they're idiots. The good. We are animals. We are humans. Humans are animals. Okay. I don't know why people think being an animal is an insult. In fact, this is an insult to other animals, including humans. What makes you feel like we're separate from other animals? And why do you think being animals that are not human, why do you consider that to be inferior? Like I as a father of two baby girls, my cute little dogs, I feel insulted when every time somebody says, like, I feel insulted. I feel like my children are being attacked every time somebody says, like, oh, we're separate from animals. Like, shut the hell up, stop insulting my children. Anyways, let's see what she has to say.
I am Muslim and I have to pray 5 times a day, but today I am not in a mood to pray. I used to think 5 times a day.
Okay, not being in a mood to pray does not make sense. If I was a Muslim, I would always be in a mood to pray. If I was a Muslim, this just kind of shows me that you guys actually do not understand what you believe in. I don't think the creator, having access to the creator of the universe, I mean, these are stupid, idiotic, pathetic ideas. But if I actually genuinely believe that I am talking to the freaking creator of the universe, I would never not be in the mood to pray. So you guys kind of really don't really believe in your heart what you believe in, or you don't understand anything about your ideology. So let's continue.
5 times a day, I could never. But I discovered that it's so much more than just an obligation. It's so special that Allah asks me to tell him how I'm doing 5 times a day.
Okay, I don't know if you actually, Allah asks you to tell him how you're doing. Do you not? She's talking about salat, the namaz, the 5 prayers. No part of the prayer has you telling Allah how you're doing. You're not doing the prayer right. But let me actually bring the content. So you say Allahu Akbar, you do the Fatiha surah, you do another surah from the Quran, probably a short one. Most people do the Qul Huwallahu Ahad. But what is let me actually see the content of salat, like the things that you say. Salah, you guys say salah, you say salat. Okay, let me see if I can find the content. What do you say during salah? Okay, here. The opening dua recited the beginning of the verse. This is okay. Translation. I don't want the Arabic. I want the translation. Translation of salah. What are you actually praying? Let me see if at any point you're telling Allah how you are doing. Okay, so you're doing the takbir. You say Allah is the greatest, which is the Allahu Akbar. And then you say, glory be to you, O Allah, and all praises are due unto you, and blessed is your name, and high is your majesty, and none is worthy of worship but you. So far, nothing about how you're doing. It's mostly about how he's doing, which is apparently very, very great. And then it says, I seek refuge with Allah from Satan, the cursed. I think regime means the one who's running away, the one who's like in hiding or running away. And then it says, in the name of Allah, the most beneficent and the most merciful. So Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. And then all the praises are for Allah, the sustainer of the worlds, the beneficent, yes, the merciful, Lord of the day of judgment. Am I reading this correctly? Hold on. Am I pronouncing this correct? Beneficent. Okay, yes. Beneficent. The beneficent, the merciful, Lord of the day of judgment. You alone do we worship, and you alone do we ask for help. Lead us along the straight path. Okay, so that's the Fatiha Surah. The path, those upon whom you have bestowed your favors, not of those who incurred your wrath, nor of those who went astray. So okay, that was nothing about how you're doing. He is, so another one, the Qul huwallahu ahad is this. So that was one chapter of the Quran that you read, the Fatiha, and then the next one you could choose which chapter of the Quran to pick to read, and most people use this chapter, the one and the only, the eternal, the absolute. He begets not, nor is he begotten, and there is none like him. Okay, then you say, glory be to my Lord, the Almighty. God hears those who praise him. Oh, our Lord, all praise is to you. Then you say, glory be to my Lord, the Most High. And then says, all compliments, prayers, and beautiful expressions are for God. Peace be upon you, O Messenger, and God's mercy and blessings. Peace be on. Okay, nothing here is about how you're doing. I bear witness that none is worthy of worship except God. And okay, there's nothing here about how you're doing. My God, honor Muhammad and Muhammad's family. Okay, so now it's about Muhammad. Okay, so we finally got to talk about someone else. Bless Muhammad, bless his family. May Allah give us goods in this world and good in the hereafter. Okay, so this is finally, it's about you, but it's not about how you're doing. It's about basically asking God for some favors to bless you in this world and after. Our God, forgive me. Okay, my parents, and the believers of the day. So yeah, this is about asking God for something. Hopefully, okay, yeah, that's it. That was it. So this lady has no idea what she's doing when she's praying 5 times a day. It's like she doesn't understand Islam. I just read to you everything you say during Salah. Let me actually listen to her again.
5 times a day, I could never. But I discovered that it's so much more than just an obligation. It's so special that Allah asks me to tell him how I'm doing 5 times a day.
I just read you the entirety of the content of that. Everything you're saying during Salah, everything you're saying during the 5 times prayers. None of them had to do with with how you're doing.
Help me to get out of my depression, because 5 times a day I'm thinking about.
Yeah, get out of your depression by submitting, dogmatically, blindly following a cult. That's the. Actually, you're right. You're right. Like when people feel depressed, when people feel isolated, when people feel alone, joining a cult does help. I don't think it's a good idea. There are better ways to fix your depression, but cult members have less depression because of, if you join a cult, if you join a dogmatic ideology, if you join a fascistic group, your depression actually does go away. I don't consider that to be better, but it does help with depression. It makes the problem worse, though, because now you're endorsing an ideology that is destroying the planet, but your depression goes away. So there's that. I mean, not completely, but it helps. Don't join cults, guys, for depression. There are better ways.
What I'm grateful for in this life. And of course, sometimes I lay on the couch and I'm like, I'm not in a mood to pray today. And then I always think about something that a white.
It makes no sense for you to say, yeah, you're not in the mood for prayer. Like you being a Muslim, if you miss your prayer, you will be burned for that. Do you understand that every single one of these prayers that you miss, God will torture you for thousands of years for a single missed prayer? A single, like, do you actually believe in Islam or not? I would not miss a single prayer. because I would know that missing a single prayer will give me thousands of years of screaming in agony for one, not a day of missed prayer, one missed prayer. So yeah, how could you not be in the mood when it comes to avoiding being tortured for thousands of years?
I always think about something that a wise man once told me. He asked me, Selma, what separates us from the animals? And I couldn't answer him. Then he said, it's our...
Okay, so there's nothing that separates us from animals. If you're asking what separates humans from other animals, there, how could you not answer him? Like, have you not taken, but like, what are you what are they teaching you in schools today? Do you not know? You know, I could tell you not just humans from other animals. I could, if you just ask me what separates dogs from other animals, I will be able to tell you. Anybody should be able to tell you like many features that separates dogs from other animals. Like in fact, not just humans from other animals. Every species from other species, it should not be very hard for you to figure out what separates one species from other species, not just animal, but all other species. That's not a very hard question to answer. So how did you, like, do they not teach you biology in school these days? How is this, how you're this ignorant?
He said, it's our own choice to do something that we don't feel like doing, but we do anyway because
That's not that, you know, that's also not true. We always do things that we feel like doing, even if you feel like you're doing something against your desires. At the end of the day, you're always doing what you desire. So that's also nonsense.
don't feel.
This is, you know, if you, where are my determinists in the chat? Okay, everything that you do, just like other animals, other animals, everything you ever do is a submission to your desires. It's just which sometimes it's hard to do it because there are multiple desires that are competing against each other. But at the end of the day, the desire that is the strongest will win, and will makes that job hard. For example, if you're exercising, even though you want to just stay like lie on the couch, it's not because you have manage to overcome your desires. It's because some of your desires are stronger than the other ones, right? So maybe you have a desire to eat ice cream, but you also have a desire to be fit. So you're not eating the ice cream, you're finding it difficult not to eat the ice cream, but you haven't overcome your desire. Technically, one of your desires have overcome another desire, because the desire to be fit has overcome the desire to eat an ice cream. But at the end of the day, you always do what you desire. So just like every single other animal,
It's our own choice to do something that we don't feel like doing, but we do anyway because we know it's good for us. When my parents divorced, I was homesick for a house that wasn't there anymore. But then I realized I don't need a physical home because Allah is my home and He's with me anywhere in the world.
Allah is not your home, okay? And you do need a home. What are you talking about? You need shelter. Home is shelter. How is like Allah provide? Oh my God, I don't even know what to do. Allah is your home. So are you inside Allah? Have you asked Him for consent before being? I don't know what we're even talking about. Okay, so changing the meaning of words like home. That was stupid. How was that so popular? How did that got 7 million views? You could just say the most nonsensical things that makes no sense, and 7 million views. 7 million views. But that took how long did that take? That's a less than a 1 minute video. You could just say rubbish, garbage, and 1 minute of it, and now 7 million views. Amazing. We did get a super chat. Before I go to the next video, let's address the super chat. Thank you so much, Gagin American, for the $5 super chat, saying, do you think the Dune movie is popularizing jihad or female hair face coverings? In the books, the Fremen follow a Zen Sunni sin what sinners. I don't know what syncretic. I don't know what that word is. Religion. What is that word? Let me read that. Let me learn something new. Syncretic. syncretic, characterized or brought about by a combination of different forms of belief. Oh, so you're saying it's a mix of Zen and Zen Buddhism and Sunni Islam. Okay. No, I don't think Dune is popularizing jihad in Islam. In fact, I think it's showing to you how religion could be used. Religions like Islam can be used to manipulate the masses. In fact, if anybody was, if it was actually reflecting the real world, which is in some ways is not, it's kind of suggesting that Islam is as a Western tool. Because if you look at the spice as like oil, and if you look at the people who are not Fremen as Westerners and the Fremen as Middle Easterners, then technically Islam has been used as a tool by Westerners to control the Middle East. I'm not saying Dune was trying to pretend like that is a reflection of the real world, but if you wanted to see what's happening in that movie, that's what's happening. So, but even if it's not accurate, Islam has not been created by Western countries. But at the end of the day, the movie is showing to you how religion is often used as a tool to control the masses, which I think is quite accurate. So I don't think it's an advertisement of Islam. I think it's actually the opposite. But however, I do think that a lot of people might take it as an endorsement of Islam. But I don't think that was the intention. I think it was quite the opposite. All right. This is why I really love the movie. You guys should watch it. Dune, guys, Dune. If you have not watched Dune, like, what are you doing? What are you doing? The second movie was amazing. Can't wait for the third one. Dune. People are saying, what movie? Dune. Dune. D-U-N-E. All right, let's go through the third video. What is this one? Let me see. This one, Muslim convert thinking Islam will be the only religion. So let me actually get the name of this channel. Noble Lessons. This is from the channel Noble Lessons. All right, so that's the name of the channel. And it's this guy. Wait. Let's see what this guy has to say. That's why I should throw in through before we start commenting. How many? Yeah. Let me see. How many minutes is this? Okay, it's just 1 minute.
I believe Islam is the only religion left in this world because every other religion has lost its value.
How so?
So in Christianity, there's 45,000, 50,000 denominations maybe. And in Christianity, there is so many different contradictions. You can't even count them. For example, when I was young, maybe 9, 10 or so, I was always taught Jesus is God. But even when I was that young, I knew Jesus was not God. Just something in me told me that Jesus was not God. I knew he was still important, but there was something inside of me that just was different. I was always drawn to Islam, even from a young age. I was researching it. It took me maybe not too long to understand it was the truth. So in 3 days before Ramadan, I went to the masjid, took my shahada. Thank you.
Okay, you can see, my God, how much they're celebrating this. Again, a white boy. That's why this is getting a lot of views. It's a white boy. It's a child also. I mean, it's like he looks 15 or 16. This got 500,000 likes. I mean, I feel bad even addressing this because this is a idiot kid. I didn't even know if I should This one got almost 4 million views, and you can see the ones that get the most views. It's either the woman or the white ones. So should I even respond to this? Like, I feel like I'm like attacking a child. Okay, let me just do it. I mean, okay, so I'm not gonna attack this child because kids are idiots. Many of them, not all of them. but I'm attacking the people who took this video and put music behind it and celebrate it as something special, because this kid is allowed to be wrong, I think, because when I was his age, I was dumber than this guy, I think. I don't know, I wasn't that dumb, but kids believes in the most insane things, and that's normal. But when I'm responding to him, I'm going to respond to the people who cut this video out, put some music behind it as something special to be celebrated. Those people are kind of suggesting that everything this boy is saying is correct. Okay, so let's go through it and address everything line by line. By the way, guys, make sure you like the stream. I see like 400 people are watching us on Twitter, so make sure you come to YouTube. People from Twitter, come over to YouTube, the Atheist Republic YouTube channel. Subscribe to us there, or watch this over there. So because you could be part of the live chat, and if you're part of the live chat, Dolly will highlight your comments, and your comments will be part of the stream. So let's see what this boy is saying and address it.
I believe Islam is the only religion left in this world, because every
Okay, so this is idiotic. Islam. Okay, actually, let's listen to his reason.
I believe Islam is the only religion left in this world, because every other religion has lost its value.
Okay, a religion losing its value does not make it not a religion. Okay, it lost its value. A religion is any form of ideology or belief system that, one, right, believes in has supernatural elements within its ideology. Two, has rituals and traditions. Any system, any belief system that has these two elements is a religion. That's the two elements. Okay, so remember that: belief in the supernatural, rituals. So losing its values, so because they don't lose their values, they replace their values. This is the kind of the natural evolution of religions, or any other meme throughout history changes its values. Islam itself has changed its values throughout history. In fact, it itself is a mutation of a Jewish Christian cult. So changing values within religions is a natural thing that happens through the evolutions of religions, and changing values does not make it not a religion. It just makes it a evolving religion. So yeah, he doesn't even understand the definition of religion. So calling an ideology not a religion because they change their values is idiotic.
How so? So in Christianity, there's 45,000, 50,000 denominations, maybe?
Yeah, you have the same problem in Islam. I don't know what you're talking about. And again, this is a second claim. Even if that's true, if you have many different versions of Christianity, that's a separate claim from saying they lost their value, because all of these sects in Christianity, they have a shared value and a shared belief. That's what makes them Christianity. If everything about them was different, they wouldn't even be in the category of Christianity. If any of these sects, if any one of these denominations changed enough for it to be completely different from the other ones, it would leave that category of Christianity. So you have many different versions, but you also have a shared idea, a shared identity, a shared value that makes you Christianity. Having many different versions of something does not change that, right? So for example, in Islam, we have many different sects, many different versions. And if one of them changes enough that loses that core definition of Islam, then it's a new sect that has left that religion. For example, when Islam was within Christianity and Judaism in its early days, but then it changed so much that it left the category of Judaism and Christianity. That's what happened to Islam. Any other sects within Judaism or Christianity as well that change so much that leave that value, they will become a completely new religion. So saying that they have so many denominations is not the same as saying they have lost that core value. As long as you believe that Jesus is God and Jesus is the way to paradise, you're with all the disagreements that you have, you're still Christianity. within Islam, you have so many different sects, so many different denominations, so many different, schools of thought. But as long as you have certain values, which is the value of Tawheed, Allah being the only one God, Muhammad being his prophet, and Quran being the word of Allah, as long as you have that, you're still Islam. If any of these three changes, now you're not Islam anymore. You're a new religion. So so these are basic concepts that people have to understand about the definition of religion, the definition of Christianity, the definition of Islam. If you understand these basic concepts, you won't make a fool of yourself and say so much idiotic stuff.
maybe.
Okay, Ahmed. Yeah, so Ahmed, guys, this is why when I say what is Islam, I specifically remember I said this. Any ideology that has these three claims, that Allah is the only one God, Muhammad is his prophet, and Quran is the word of God, the direct word of God, any ideology that says this is Islam. I don't care about all the other disagreements. I specifically, when it comes to Muhammad being the prophet of Allah, I specifically didn't say last prophet of Allah to be able to include some other weird sects of Islam idea as well. I wanted to be as inclusive as possible. That's why I didn't say Muhammad is the last prophet of Allah. That I was very it was very purposeful for me to say a prophet of Allah, right? I included Ahmadiyas as Muslim, as Islam as well, their ideology as Islam as well. But yeah, within Islam, so he doesn't know, we within Islam, we have sects of Islam that doesn't even consider Muhammad to be the last prophet of Allah, which is heresy, according to the vast majority of Muslims. They consider Muhammad to be a prophet of Allah, but not the last prophet of Allah. And again, there's a whole conversation about the difference between Nabi and Rasul, and whether Muhammad was the last Nabi, but maybe not the last Rasul. And I'm not going to get into that discussion, but just let you know that conversation exists. So I don't know if he's familiar with that there are Muslims who don't even consider Muhammad to be the last prophet of Allah. Yeah, so based on that, your religion, Islam, is not a religion. Based on his standards of a religion not being a religion, we have met the end of all religions, because he said Islam is the only religion left. But given now that we know how many different sects that we have in Islam, how many different schools of thoughts we have in Islam, I mean, go look at the Islam that people believe in Oman. It's completely different from what the Islam that we know. The Islam that they practice and believe in Oman is bizarrely different from the rest of the beliefs in Islam. So if he, based on this boy's standard, there is no religion. Guys, we did it. We did it. It's the end of religion. Religion has ended. Amazing.
And in Christianity.
Yeah, so maybe like when I say last prophet, maybe I should say last messenger, right? So Nabi is prophet, Rasul is messenger, but maybe I should have said they believe that Muhammad is not the last messenger of Allah. Maybe that's what I should have said. Yeah, okay.
And in Christianity, there is so many different contradictions. You can't even count them. For example, when I was young, maybe...
Okay, so in Christianity, there's so many contradictions. I have news for you, little boy. Islam has so many contradictions, so many insane contradictions, and I'm not even going to start mentioning them here because that will take all day.
9, 10 or so. I was always taught Jesus is God. But
he says Jesus is God, and then he says A'udhu Billah. Okay, this boy has been so completely brainwashed. So when he says Jesus is God, he feels that that's such a blasphemous and disgusting and weird thing to say that he says A'udhu Billah, like I take refuge to God. A'udhu Billah means I take refuge to God, because he said such a taboo and blasphemous thing to say, but because of by mere saying it, he asks God for protection for saying that. You see how properly brainwashed he has been? After he says, I was taught as a child that Jesus is God, he thinks uttering those words that Jesus is God is so taboo that he says, after saying it, he asks God for protection for saying those words. He says, "A'udhu billah." See, listen to this.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's kind of like saying, yeah, David is saying it's kind of like saying God forbid. Yeah, but it actually means God protect me. I take refuge to God. Look at this. Look at the level of brainwashing.
Jesus is God. A'udhu billah.
A'udhu
But
billah.
even when I was that young, I knew Jesus was not God. Just something in me told me that Jesus was not God. I knew he was still important, but there was something inside of me that just was different. I was always drawn.
This is the source of all rational thought. There's something inside of me. Okay. I have news for you. Jesus being God is as ridiculous as what Muslims believe that Jesus is a prophet. They're both extremely ridiculous. Yes, Jesus was neither a God or a prophet. They're both equally ridiculous. So you think that you have given up on one ridiculous idea, but you also have now a new ridiculous idea as a Muslim that Jesus was the prophet of Allah.
To Islam even from a young age. I was researching it. It took me maybe not too long to understand it was the truth. So in 3 days before Ramadan, I went to the masjid, took my shahada.
Took my shahada means that he became a Muslim. He testified that God is Allah and Muhammad is his prophet.
Thank you.
Look, you see that smile? Okay, you see that smile? So right, I say I went to the mosque and I took my shahada. So I took my shahada means I testified that Allah is God and Muhammad is prophet. And see, the Muslim, this last few seconds is the key part that you have to understand. This last few seconds is the symbol of everything that is happening. This is the reason for the growth of Islam. This last few seconds. None of this video mattered because none of this video included any form of logical reasoning or providing any argument for any of this being true, right? And he says he did some research. It was not the research that convinced them because there is no research, any proper research that will make you come up with these conclusions. It's not the research that makes him a Muslim. It's this last few seconds that makes you a Muslim. Look at this. He says, I took my shahada, so he became a Muslim. And what do you hear from the other side?
Ramadan, I went to the masjid, took my shahada.
The person says, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. He's saying God is great to celebrate him becoming Muslim, and he smiles. Did you see that smile? That smile is being recognized, being seen, being celebrated, being validated, being recognized as a valuable part of the ummah, a community. We are in a crisis of loneliness right now. We are in a crisis of meaning. We are in a crisis of mattering. And that desire to matter, to be seen, to be celebrated, to be recognized, that itch is being scratched. That desire is being fulfilled right here. Acknowledgement, exactly. This is the desire that people are following. That acceptance, that smile. That is why you become a Muslim. Because the ummah welcomes you with open arms. And if you want to fight Islam, you cannot do what I'm just doing here, because what I'm doing here is not enough. We are showing you how ridiculous and barbaric and violent and destructive Islam is, but that is not enough, because this is not about logical arguments. This is about a community. This is about being seen. We want to be seen. We want to be celebrated. We want to matter to other people. If you have such a giant global community that all you have to do is to read the Shahadat and they will celebrate you, do you know the level of temptation that exists here, especially now in modern times when we're dealing with a crisis of identity and a crisis of loneliness? We are having a loneliness epidemic right now, and it's only going to grow. And religion is going to have the answer to that, especially Islam, especially with young boys. That's what we have to address. That's what we have to figure out. And you can do that. What is the solution? What is the solution? Because if that is the problem, then logical reasoning and showing how Islam is idiotic and destructive, that is part of the solution. We have to do that. But we also have to provide communities. We also have to do community building. That's the only way that you could tackle such a destructive cult. Cults like Islam and every other cult takes advantage of people who need this, who are looking for a people that they could belong. Anyways, so when we're fighting Islam and other harmful ideas in this channel, let's brainstorm with each other. Let's figure this out. Let's figure out what are the things that we could do other than just tackling Islamic ideology. What could we do when it comes to the community building aspect and provide a blueprint? It's not just us providing a community and making a community here at Atheist Republic. It's also trying to come up with a blueprint, a plan for all other people. How do we tackle this epidemic of loneliness, this crisis of meaning? What do we do about that? Because this is only going to get worse. Because part of the reason why this is happening is because of how fast society is changing due to technology. And it's only going to get faster. And the speed at which everything is changing is too much for any mind to be able to comprehend or be flexible enough to change with. And the speed is going to increase. And that's going to become more of a problem. So we need a solution fast. Anyways, let's go to the next video. Let me pick which video we're going to do next. Oh, wait, we're almost out of time. Okay. I have more videos, but we're already at a 1 hour mark. I think I did 3 videos. 3 videos is good. Yes. Guys, I'm going to do more Islam-related videos, so please make sure you subscribe and hit the bell notification. I need to go get ready for my next show, the Persian show. But make sure you subscribe. Make sure you like. Make sure you leave comments about. Dolly might actually read your comments. I will read your comments. But if I see suggestions of people that you want me to review or respond to, make sure you leave that in the comment section. If I did good, tell me in the comment sections that I did good. That will motivate me. If I did bad, tell me what I did. Like, give me some feedback on how I could do better, or if I said something wrong, correct me on something. I will try to read as much as the comments as possible to be better. But make sure you leave a comment, because the comments actually really boost the algorithm, helps the channel grow after the stream is over. And by the way, there's been this YouTube glitch that turns off the comments automatically. And even after I come on and turn it on, it turns it off again. But I think the glitch is gone now. So please double check if the comments are on after the stream is over. Please leave a comment. It's really important for the comment section to be full. Because also the comment section is actually part of the Atheist Republic community. It's the best part of the Atheist Republic community. So engage in the comment section, helps the channel grow, and it helps us do the community building. Make sure you share this video with people, because these videos help us fight this disease of Islam. So make sure you share it. Make sure you tell people to come and subscribe to the Atheist Republic channel on YouTube. All right, guys. Oh, you did great. Thank you. I appreciate that. All right, guys. Like, subscribe, everything I just said. You know what to do. And I'm going to go get ready to do the Persian. Oh, if you speak Persian, hop over to the Persian channel, right? Because Atheist Republic has a Persian channel for mostly the audience in Iran. And that channel is named Jamhuriye Bi Khodayan, which is just basically the translation of Atheist Republic into Persian. So for people who don't know, every time I do an English stream, most of the time after that, I'm going to go do a Persian stream on our Persian channel, mostly for Iranians. So if you speak Persian, just search for Jamhuriye Bi Khodayan on YouTube, and our Persian channel will show up. All right, guys. See you on the next stream. Bye.